Hey babe, have you seen the black box I had upstairs? It's of the next statue I'm going to be unboxing.
I didn't know it was a statue. Lily just brought a black box in her room. She told me that you said she could play with it.
She said what?
That she could play with it. What's wrong?
Hey everybody, BM Collectibles here, back for another statue unboxing review for you. If you enjoyed that intro, be sure to stick around to the end where I do have some bloopers, especially the very last one before the video ends. Today I am pumped because we are taking a look at Cartoon World and Surge's crossover of Obito and Madara. No joke, this is one of the lightest bases I've ever held. On the bottom we have some felt so it slides around real nicely on the table. Getting a little bit closer, we'll see all the areas that the foot pegs will key into later. Also up here is another branch that was sculpted separately. Flipping the statue around to the back, we can really see how the god tree is just planting itself within these rocks and rooting itself all over the place. Really great texturing and paint application all over the tree and the rocks. Here we have that separate branch, and also I'll mention this statue is more of an artistic statue, so it's not taken from a direct scene out of the show, but more so using characters and creating an artistic statue that represents something that we'll get into a little bit later. Included also is the blossoming flower bud that's found at the top of the god tree that is casting off the infinite Tsukuyomi onto the moon. Attached all throughout are some small magnets that allow it to attach to the base and also allow each part to connect together. On the back, we'll find a piece of paper that acts as a barrier between two batteries, and when you pull it out, it activates the Sharingan that we see on the top. Now, as bright, vibrant, as cool as this is, the only way to turn it on is to pull that piece of paper out or to stick it back in to turn it off. So it's kind of a neat feature, but it's not something I'll probably be using. Also included was this alternative base that you can use to separate the characters if you'd like. Now, these are the little key areas that the foot pegs will go into afterwards. I will show those later together. One of the craziest things is that Madara was sculpted as all one piece. They sculpted him with his classic arms crossed pose, and he is in his Edo Tensei or reanimated form. As always, I'm going to work from the bottom of the statue, take a look at all the details till we get to the head sculpt. The pants have some nice shading and texturing going on, and I absolutely love his battle armor. It looks extremely used and flawed, beat up, scratched, dented, just a lot of great sculpting details going on there. The notch on the butt is where he will be attaching himself to the rest of the base. It's got a large magnet in there. And then also we'll see on his back he has an area where the weapon will be connected. He has his sickle that he'll be wearing on his back. Now the hair is super impressive to look at. You know, there's just one thing that goes on with some of the Uchiha clan. You know, normally I imagine their hair being black, but it sometimes has a bluish tint to it. Sasuke, it happened multiple times I've seen, but maybe that's what they were going for here. The head sculpt is absolutely perfect, and you'll see he's looking to the side a little bit here, and that's because where he's positioned at on the statue, it's kind of like a back-to-back where he's looking over to the left a little bit. You'll see when it kind of rests, but it does look a little odd looking straight forward, but it looks perfect when it all comes together. Here is that sickle. Now it looks like actual metal, but this is made of resin. Now how they did shade this on here, it looks like an actual blade and that it is sharp. If we go down throughout the bottom, we will find it is a nice wrapping that has some wash over it. And then there's that notch up top there that'll connect to the back. And if we bring it all the way to the bottom, there is a hole there. That's where the chain will later connect to. The chain does have a nice metallic paint job to it with a wash on it that makes it look a little bit dirty, and it does have a level of flexibility to it, whatever it's made out of. It might be some PVC or a mixture of PVC and resin, but I'm really happy that it's not too fragile. Now, I get this question all the time. Bam, where do you buy some of your statues from? Well, this one was picked up from G.A.C. or Games Animation Collectibles. If you're looking for some pretty awesome Naruto statues or many other franchises, be sure to check out their website. They do have quite a variety of options available. They also are a seller who's been around for a very long time, and I know their owner directly, so I can personally recommend this site if you're looking for some statues. Obito dropping him all headless and armless. Those were sculpted separately, and because they have so much details on them, I wanted to showcase them separately. Obito will key into the statue with this little notch on that left foot we see here, and there's a notch and also a steel rod. Just like Madara, the texturing and shading on the pants look great. Man, these two got some nice pants. The cape is very nice, dynamic, and flowing, and if we look on the back of him, there's also that mini blade that we can see that's sheathed. If you look closely, the Uchiha clan symbol, that is a paint sticker that's applied on there, and unfortunately mine does have a little bit of bubbling on it. Hopefully that won't cause issues long term, but that is something that I did notice there. Lastly, if we tip him over, we will see that area that the head sculpt will key into. In his left hand, we'll see a nice leathery textured glove, and he's also holding a Konoha headband that has that scratch mark across it from being defective. To me, this represents the fact that deep inside his heart somewhere, he still does hold this place as home. Now, the reason I showcased him headless is because I wanted to really focus on both of these head sculpts. In all of my collecting time, I have seen so many bad, unmasked Obito faces. But thankfully, this is not one of them. I would love to hear in the comments below after you see each of them, which is your preferred head to use, the unmasked or masked version. I'm really happy that they decided to go with a battle damage version instead of one that's completely untouched. Just like the chains earlier, this is made of more of a PVC feel material, so it's got a lot of flexibility to it. Again, comment below if this was your statue, would you go with that unmasked or masked version? I want to get everybody's thoughts on something. Baby Kurama keeps showing up in some of my videos. Should he become the channel mascot or what? I'm not sure. I need your help to decide these things. And the last piece, but not the smallest on this statue to be showcased, is going to be none other than the War Fan. Just like the theme of this statue, it's going to be battle damage, battle damage, battle damage. There's worn, beaten, tattered. I love how they did this whole statue. Because this is all sculpted as one piece, I do believe there's a small aluminum rod that goes through the center of it and all the way through the handle. The handle itself does slide through Obito's hand, and friction only holds it together. It just kind of stays there, and as it hits a certain angle, it rests and stays into place. As I mentioned before, there is an alternative way to display this statue if you wish so. It's a little tricky to get that flush up against a tree, but a little bit of force does get it in there. Although this is a nice option, it almost gives you two statues for the price of one. This is not the way that I'll be personally displaying it for one reason. Before, I had mentioned that this is more of an artistic statue than a representation of a specific scene, but to me, when they are back to back, it does represent how Madara was the ultimate person who was pulling the strings of Obito's life. Obito himself is one of the saddest characters in the whole story, what happened to him and how much he got manipulated from when he met Madara. Hey over there, members. Thank you so much for your continued support on the channel. Towards the end of the week, we will be launching an official BAM Collectibles Discord channel. I hope you'll be able to check that out and become a part of it if it's something that you are interested in. For those that are in the Kage tier memberships, we will have a special room on the channel where everybody can go and hang out. Included with this statue is a Rinne Sharingan tablet made of stone, and on here we'll see the edition size, which I have 71 out of 588 made. So a nice little extra that you can display next to the statue. If you enjoyed this video, there are two things I want to talk about first. The first thing is going to be, I have a statue on order that should be shipping soon that is going to be one of Obito when he was younger, and he went through probably one of the darkest moments in the show where he did massacre Minnie from the Mist Village. So if you do not want to miss that, I encourage you, please do subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell. That is the most important part, because sometimes YouTube doesn't recommend videos even if you are subscribed. But if you got a notification bell, you won't miss a thing. As always, everybody, do what you love and love what you do. Bam out.
Hey, babe. Hey, babe. Have you seen there's a black box that I had upstairs? It's going to be the...